Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jai Om Shnipad Panamansa Padipraja Kacharja Stotra Śrimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Miraj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunikiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Ramana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rishaya Uchuhu Ananvitam Te Bhagavan Vicheshtitam Yat Atmana Shodasi Hi Karma Najyase Vibhutaye Yata Upasedur Isharim Namanyate Swayam Anuvartatim Bhavan Rishya Uchuhu Ananvitam Te Bhagavan Vicheshtitam Yadatmana Chodasi Hikarma Najyase Vibhutaye Yata Upase Durisharim Namanyate Swayam Anuvartatim Bhavan Ananvitam Te Bhagavan Vicheshtitam Yadatmana Chodasi Hikarma Najyase Vibhutaye Yata Upase Durisharim Namanyate Swayam Anuvartatim Bhavan. Ladies. Rishayaha, the sages. Uchuhu, prayed. Ananvitam, wonderful. Te, your. Bhagavan, O possessor of all opulences. Vicheshtitam, activities. Yat, which. Atmana, by your potencies. Chodasi, you execute. He, certainly. Karma, to such activities. Na ajyase, you are not attached. Vibhutaye, for her mercy. Yataha, from whom? Upaseduhu, worshipped. Isharim, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Namanyate are not attached. Swayam, yourself. Anuvartatim, to your obedient servant. Lakshmi, Bhavan, your lordship. The sages prayed, Dear Lord, your activities are most wonderful, and although you do everything by your different potencies, you are not at all attached to such activities. You are not even attached to the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by the great demigods like Brahma, who pray to achieve her mercy. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord has no desire to achieve any result from his wonderful activities, nor has he any need to perform them. But still, in order to give an example to people in general, he sometimes acts, and those activities are very wonderful. He is not attached to anything. Namam karmani limpanti. Although he acts very wonderfully, he is not at all attached to anything. He is self-sufficient. The example is given here that the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is always engaged in the service of the Lord, but still he is not attached to her. Even great demigods like Brahma worship the goddess of fortune in order to win her favor. But many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, but although the Lord is worshipped by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, he is not at all attached to any one of them. This distinction concerning the exalted transcendental position of the Lord is specifically mentioned by the great sages. He is not like the ordinary living entity who is attached to the results of pious activities. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamahyam Tatati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Vijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Ananvitam te bhagavan vicheshtitam yadatmana chodasi ikarma najyase vibhutaye yata upasedur isharim namanyate swayam anuvartatim bhavan. Everyone is acting to get something. No one acts without some hope of getting some return. The followers of the Vedas follow a system of prescribed duties in order to get the results of pious activities. Sinful people work against the Vedic principles in hopes of getting some result. The Gyanis, by their study, hope for a result. The yogis. But Krishna is detached. He has no need to act. Namam karmani limpanti name karma pale spriha. Spriha means, what's that word? Just disappeared. Aspiration. The Krishna doesn't aspire to get anything. He already has everything. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He's the owner of everything, the enjoyer of everything. He's the husband of thousands of goddesses of fortune. What is that? 16,108 wives. So, what more does he need? And all devoted, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma. Not 16,108 quarreling, witchy kind of wives, but totally devoted. No, he has nothing to aspire for. He already has all beauty, all fame. We want to have beauty, so we sit in front of a mirror for half an hour and try and do something, or we dress this way, or we do something for the sake of beauty. For fame, we endeavor. For strength, workouts, and supplements, and all of that, and so on. Wealth, that's a big deal. Krishna already has all of those opulences in full, so what does he have to aspire for? So, name karma pale sprihari. He's not interested in the results of pious activities or any other activities. He already has everything. But still he acts. He acts. Loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartamarasi yadi niyaham navartayam jatu karmanya tandrita mamavart manuvartante manusya partasas. If I didn't follow the system of dharmic activities, then everybody would follow my example and everything would be finished. So he acts to set an example for others, or he acts to perform wonderful activities just to attract the conditioned souls. So, and namam karmani limpanti. He's not affected by his actions. We act to get some result, but we get entangled in the complexities of the reactions to our activities. Krishna, no, unaffected. He can do anything, and he's not at all tainted. Namam karmani limpan, like the sun. Prabhupada gives the example, the sun drinks urine. People pass urine in the field, and the sun drinks it up, evaporates it. But the sun is not contaminated. Rather, the place becomes purified. Because he's powerful. Lord Shiva drinks an ocean of poison. He's not affected because he's powerful. So Krishna's the most powerful, so he's unaffected. Namam karmani limpanti. Iti mam yo bhajanati karma. Even a person who knows this about Krishna becomes unaffected by the results of material activity. So ananvitam te bhagavan vicheshtitam yad atmana chodasi karmana jase. He performs these activities, he performs his wonderful activities, vicheshtitam, atmamaya, by his own transcendental potency. If we want to do something wonderful, we have to depend on others. If you want to build a building, then you have to hire architects, you have to take a big loan from the bank, you have to do so many things. And anything else you want to do, you have to depend on others. And we'll be limited according to our capability, that much we can do. But Krishna has unlimited capability and unlimited energies ready to accomplish whatever he wants. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. This is the key to understanding the personality of Godhead, or to understanding the absolute truth in fullness. One has to understand that the absolute truth has variegated potencies. And this is the statement of the Shrutis, or statement of the Shastras. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. Subhavati Jnanam Balakriyacha. The energies that are ready to do whatever he wants without even his asking. He doesn't even have to do anything, do even that much. Could you please? No, they do it automatically. So this is Krishna. He's not affected. He's running the whole material world, and he's not affected. Because he's super powerful. And anyway, everything's done by his energy. He doesn't personally get involved. So materialists are attached to Lakshmi or other Devi Devatas because they think that if Lakshmi is kind to us, we'll get money. If Saraswati gives her blessings, we'll get success in education. If this demigod, if that demigod. Krishna doesn't have to satisfy any demigods. The demigods are acting according to his direction. What is that in the third chapter? Mayaiva vihitan hitan. What is that? Tepi mam eva konti janti vihipura. Anyway, the idea Krishna says, if someone worships the demigods, from within the heart of that person, I make his faith steady so that he'll get the result. And I direct the demigod also. Give this rascal the result. So behind the success in the worship of the various gods is Krishna. So Krishna has no need to satisfy any of these demigods. Sometimes he does. He worships this god, that god, just to show something. But he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. And particularly, he doesn't need to worship Lakshmi. That's indicated here. Everyone else is mad after Lakshmi. But Krishna, no. Detached. Detached. Because he's Atmarama, self-satisfied. The devotees who become also Atmarama, they also don't need to worship Lakshmi. but everyone else is worshipping Lakshmi. Please satisfy our senses. Finally, that's the point. Give us money, and with money we'll gratify our senses. But Krishna, no, detached. Who is that person? That's also Krishna's opulence, complete detachment. We're detached from things we don't like. I'm detached from seafood if I don't like seafood. But I'm attached to pizza, I'm attached to this, I'm not attached to girls that I don't like, or men I don't like. But still, everyone is attached to someone. Krishna, no. Even Krishna made this point to Rukmini. Of course, he was joking with her. But he said, my devotees are not very much attached to householder life, so neither am I. But it's a fact. The sadhus, they're not very much attached to family life. The advanced devotees of Krishna, they're not very much attached. Then what to speak of Krishna himself? Why should he be attached? So, Ananvitam, this is all wonderful. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, has all these opulences. And so he can act. He's not inactive. The impersonal Brahman is inactive. It doesn't do anything. There's no one there, no one home, no one there to do anything. But Krishna, by his energies, creates, destroys, maintains, and plays, does as he likes. And therefore the devotees want to engage in the service of Krishna. His renunciation is also, his detachment is another of his attractive qualities. It's another of his attractive qualities. If someone's totally attached to his wife, for example, that's, becomes a topic for criticism. He's just henpecked. He's the plaything of his wife. But someone who can leave everything behind, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left behind everything, happy family life. So if one can leave everything behind like that, that also becomes attractive. So this is another attractive opulence of Krishna. He's totally opulent, and he's totally detached at the same time. We have men who are totally opulent and totally attached to their opulence. We had one devotee in the Middle East. When I first met him, I got his contact information for going through immigration. And I came to know that he worked in the Prime Minister's office. Quite big. Then when I met him, I came to know that his engagement was taking care of the Prime Minister's car collection. The Prime Minister had, racing cars, vintage cars, this car, that car. Old man, what could he do? But he had all these cars. And naturally, he's attached to these. To his this car, to his that car. But Krishna, and we look at it and say, what? You fool. But Krishna's totally detached. Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Okay, any questions? Microfono, where is the microphone? Anyway, speak loud. The microphone just makes things worse anyway. Jorse bole. That's not Jorse. Yes, double. Yes, that's his one attachment. He's attached to uh, devotional service, bhaktyamam abhijanati. Not to the service exactly, but to the loving feelings that he likes to reciprocate with his devotees. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Therefore, it said Krishna becomes even controlled by his devotees. Uh,
Maharaj, you had mentioned that Krishna said to Rukmini, "My pure devotees are not so attached to family life, so neither am I." How come he worded it like that, implying he makes decisions based off what his pure
why did
devotees?
he word it like that? And
Which kind of implies that he makes decisions inspired by his devotees when it's really.
well, the context was that Krishna was living with Rukmini and Dwarka, and he wanted to. Rukmini's nature is very docile, very submissive. Um, she, whatever it is, she won't object. She'll just go along. Whatever the Lord wants, whatever you want. And Satyabhama is just the opposite. She's fiery and willful, ready to quarrel over it. Uh, you gave Rukmini a parijata flower. What about me? You know, Rukmini would never do that. But Satyabhama, what about me? You gave her a flower. What about me? But Rukmini is very, uh, mm, yes, submissive. Uh, so Krishna wanted to have some fun because, you know, there's not that much fun in householder life, but a little of the fun is you get to fight with your wife sometimes. Some quarrel, some, you know, at least some jousting, you know, some exchange of words. Gotcha. You know, a little play. When it gets too serious, then it's misery. Then, you know, you call the lawyers and all of that. But a little argument in family life in a joking spirit gives some taste. So Krishna wanted to enjoy that taste with Rukmini, but Rukmini won't object to anything. Yes, whatever you want, my lord. I'm just your servant. No arguments, no quarrels. So then Krishna thought, all right, what to do to provoke Rukmini. So he started saying that, you know, you made a big mistake in your choice of a husband. There were great heroes who wanted to marry you, Shishupal and so many great kings. And somehow you selected me, and I'm not at all qualified. I'm so fearful of the other kings that I've made my kingdom out in the middle of the sea so that no one can reach me. Uh, no one quite knows what kind of family background I have. You know, very important in family life. We check the background of the, and no one knows whether I'm even a Vaishya or a Kshatriya. Uh, Pretty much it's agreed that I have no qualities worth talking about. So, in many ways, he was uh, essentially saying, well, it's not too late. Still, you can find another husband. Uh, that means proposing divorce. There's no divorce in Vedic culture at all. But here's Rukmini married to Krishna. By this time, she had sons. And Krishna is saying, well, it's not too late. Shishupala is still there. No, well, Shishupala wasn't there, but the others are still there. So it was in that context that he said, my devotees are not very attached to family life, so I'm not either. So don't worry about hurting my feelings. You can marry someone else. I won't mind. That was the context.
How did she respond to that? How did she respond to that?
I couldn't hear you.
How did
she respond? Yeah. She fainted. She fell over like a palm tree hit by a strong wind. Krishna thought, I'll get some. Now I'll get her agitated, and she'll snap something back. Instead, she just collapsed. So then Krishna picked her up and explained what his intention was. You can read in Krishna book, very nice. And Rukmini's answer is also very informative.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question about when you were talking about demigods.
Yes.
Now, is it possible that somebody who worships various demigods, could it lead them to Krishna?
Yes, but slowly. Can the worship of the demigods lead one to Krishna? The good thing about worshiping the demigods is that we're acknowledging the authority. Otherwise, apradayabhyo yo punkte stain avasa. Those who are just grabbing and not acknowledging their debt to the providers of what they're grabbing are thieves. Huh? You go into the supermarket and just sort of like load up your basket and head out the door, you're a thief. You have to acknowledge your debt now to the proprietors of the market at the cash register. Then you're legal. So generally, the tendency is let me grab. But the Vedic injunction is no, you acknowledge your debt to those who've supplied the various devatas. So then you're legal. Not great, but legal. Krishna says anyone who's worshipping the demigods is hritagana, stupid, deprived of intelligence, deprived of knowledge, but legal. Just like someone who goes into the liquor store and buys a bottle of Jack Daniels. He's ignorant, tamasic, but it's legal. Now I think marijuana is also legal. You can go, at least many states, and just buy it. It's not very good, but it's legal. So worshiping the demigods is a vidhi, not very good, but legal. And because one is acting legally, one is following the laws of the government, one is gradually promoted. But even then, it's not automatic that because I'm worshiping such and such demigod, I'll come to Krishna. Yanti deva vrata devan. One goes to the demigods and then comes back down here and wants to enjoy again. But sometimes, if the demigod is particularly pleased, and if one's intentions are a little better, well, if one's intentions are pure, one worships the demigod, please engage me in Krishna's service. the gopis were worshipping Katyayani, demigod. Please let us have Krishna as our husband. So if you worship the demigods that way, then it's perfectly good. Otherwise, sometimes by the grace of the demigod, one may be promoted. But you don't want to go that way. That's like, going around, driving from here to JFK by way of Kansas. It's not recommended.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I have a doubt. You said that Krishna is attached to devotee's devotional service and his love.
Yes, Krishna is attached to the
Yeah, I mean,
devotion of the devotees.
yeah. Does like you took sannyasa, like you are loving Krishna, you took sannyasa. I mean, all devotees love Krishna. But
All the devotees love Krishna.
yeah, but does my love matter? I mean, I
Whoa,
cannot
whoa.
even chant 16 rounds.
Let me
Does
tell
it
you two
matter?
things. Number one, I'm half deaf. Number two, the acoustics in this room are abominable. So the only thing you can do is speak loud and speak slow. And the third thing you can do is skip the microphone, because the microphone makes it worse. You can't even chant 16 rounds. How do you know? Not doing it yet. It matters. Even, what does Krishna say? Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bhayat. Even the slightest smidgen, the slightest trace of devotional service can save one from the greatest danger. So certainly it matters. But it's not the same as pure devotional service, 100% full on, totally committed devotional service. That we have to aspire for. But if we begin and we aspire, gradually, come under proper guidance, everything can be achieved. Is that okay? Okay. And now it is 6 minutes to 9, so if there's another question, we can still take it. Yes. Well, who's going to Nick, will you relay what she says? Because I won't be able to hear it. That probably
is
won't
the
be.
best way to deal with my attachments.
I still need you to relay it. What did she say? What is the best way to deal with your attachment? Just transfer the account. Attachment is fine. Everyone has the nature of a tendency toward attachment. But now I'm attached to something stupid. I'm attached to my sports car. I'm attached to my puppy dog. I'm attached to my country. I'm attached to my this. I'm attached to my that. We're just full of attachments for stuff that even, I'm attached to J.S. Bach or whatever it is. It's all going to be finished. It's going to be blown away by the winds of time. Whatever I'm attached to is just going to be exploded. It's going to be lost. And because I'm attached to it, I'll have to come back to the material world to search for it again. So just transfer that attachment to Krishna, and your attachment will be perfect. We're going to be attached. We can't help it. But why be attached to some nonsense? Be attached to Krishna. Then it's perfect. Is that okay? Yeah? Okay. Be attached to chanting Hare Krishna. Be attached to serving Krishna. be attached to hearing about Krishna, be attached to worshiping Krishna, be attached to Krishna and Krishna consciousness. Then it's very good. We're actually preaching attachment, not detachment. Just be attached to Krishna. Then automatically we'll be detached from other things. Padam drishtva nivartati. You're just holding them. Oh, no, you have a question. Okay. We still have 3 minutes.
So Maharaj, how difficult it is to be attached to Krishna?
How
Difficult.
do we become attached to Krishna?
Yeah. Like
Be- Mm. Associate with those who are attached to Krishna, and you'll become attached to Krishna. Come under the guidance of someone attached to Krishna, you'll become attached to Krishna. If you associate with people who are attached to money, you'll develop an attachment for money. Associate with those who are attached to wine and women, you'll become attached to wine and women. But if you associate with those who are attached to Krishna, you'll become attached to Krishna. Last.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So backing off of his question,
Which, you back off this question, yes.
so we can be around devotees who are attached to Krishna and also maybe
We can be around devotees who are attached to Krishna,
and even working in a way where it looks like we're serving and
we
with
can
them or doing,
look like we're serving.
but our attachment isn't growing to match theirs. We may just be,
Our attachment is not growing to match theirs.
yeah, it almost feels like maybe I'm just working out of excitement to work, but I'm not necessarily getting the taste that they're getting.
We're working out of excitement in doing the work, but I'm not developing the same attachment. But you will. You will. In the beginning, I'm not, they're drinking and smoking. I'm not into it, but all right, I take a little sip and I take a little puff. But after a while, I get into it. In the beginning, it's just to, be part of the scene or something. I'm not really, but I get into it. So even if one comes and joins us, not exactly with intention of surrendering everything to Krishna, but, I like the people or whatever it is. Our Haridas Prabhu, one of my godbrothers in Bombay, his story is that he saw that Prabhupada was wearing a very expensive Rolex, and he wanted to steal it. So that's why he joined the Association of the Devotees. But turned out differently. Prabhupada stole him. He came to get a watch, and instead he gave his life. So that's Krishna. All right. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila